Greetings and welcome to Imprinting Color. My name is Liz, aka pezliz, and normally I have an array of Polymaker filaments to share with you. We talk about materials, we talk about how we apply the different Polymaker materials to our 3D printing experience, and I want to let you in on a little secret. My secret is a lot of the material that I get for Imprinting Color comes directly from the Polymaker website. So the Polymaker website is building up with of course a wonderful team of people. They're building up a whole bunch of resources to enhance your 3D printing experience. So we're going to take a look at what they have to offer and how you can use those resources, of course, when going on your own 3D printing adventure. So first off, when we go to the Polymaker website, the first thing we're going to see is Panchroma and Fiberon. The Cole's notes of that, or the Cliff's notes of that, is Panchroma is your filament palette. So those are the fun colors and effects and all sorts of things, mainly PLA. So those have joined the Panchroma family. Fiberon is the high performance composite filaments. So you've got things with carbon fiber and nylon and all sorts of things that take, of course, special printing. And so if you're stuck and you're not sure how to choose what you'd like to print with, what you're going to do about it, the Polymaker website actually has some really great resources for you. So if we scroll up here, first thing we're going to look at is the filament guide. Believe it or not, it says right here, find the right filament for your project. So whether it is the material properties or the applications, you're going to have all sorts of amazing resources available to you. So right away, when we look at material properties, if you want something that is impact resistant, so it says here, non-flexible materials will not really break when dropped with a high Sharpie impact strength. So that includes filaments like Polymax PLA, Polysonic PLA Pro, Polymax PC, Polylite ABS, the Fiberon PA6, GF25, and Polylite PLA Pro. Of course, there's Polymaker filaments that are heat resistant. As you can see, most of them are Fiberon, but of course they also include the Polymax PCFR. There are filaments that are rigid and stiff, so they are non-nylon materials that are not easy to bend. Again, lots of those are Fiberon, but also include Polylite PLA Pro, Polylite PLA, and Polylite PLA CF. Carbon fiber. And then of course we've got things that are color effects. So most of those fall along with our Panchroma line, and of course also when you have fun effects, you've got the galaxies, the neons, and all sorts of other filaments that fall in different families. But the information is right there. When it comes to applications, if you're someone who does a lot of prototyping, you might want to take a look at the Polymaker Draft PLA or the Matte PLA for production. Also something like the Polylite PLA. So things that are budget friendly and also are able to help you when you're doing prototyping and testing. When it comes to things like mechanical parts, we've got the whole Fiberon family and what particular Fiberon filaments you might want to use. If you're printing something for outdoor use, we have talked about different filaments here before, but there you have the Polylite ASA, the Fiberon PET CF17, the PPS CF10, the Polymax PC, and the Polymaker PC ABS. If you're someone that's into cosplay and props, there are many different, of course, materials that you can use, but one of the main ones, of course, are the Polylite Cos PLA version A and version B. Also, of course, Polylite ABS and ASA, depending on what it is you're printing. So with all of that, Polymaker can even get you into a deeper dive. There is, of course, all the technical data for their materials available right there. Another place that you can find all that information is app.polymaker.com. And you can play around here. Not only are you able to search the, categories such as the strength or the Charpy impact strength, the bending modulus, all those sorts of things. You can also look up colors. So if you have a particular color, let's say, we tend to say a sports team, and you know what their general, their hex code is. You can put in the hex code, and you're able to choose what filament would be the best match to your sports logo. So there's, I just ran the slider down there, but if you were looking for a particular shade of red that matches your sports team, or blue, or, anything along those lines. We have someone in chat saying go Habs go, so I will try to get myself more in the blue zone there. And so you can see all the different blues that might lend to one of your favorite teams. But that is app.polymaker.com. But going back to the filament guide, you can see that they actually talk about some of those things. They're on app.polymaker.com. But there's all sorts of resources here. So let's take a look as you go scroll down even further, and there's something that says printing requirements. So this is buyer, this is making sure that as someone who's purchasing filament from the Polymaker website, you know what to expect when you are ready to order some filament. So let's say you really want to try the luminous filament. As you look down the list here, it does say that these materials are abrasive and should only be used with a hardened nozzle. So if you're going to print a whole bunch of luminous, then you're going to want to make sure that you do have a hardened nozzle. There are, of course, other materials that require an enclosure, like ABS and ASA, and of course a lot of the PC and other filaments. Some filaments require an all metal hot end, a lot of the Fibron, for example. So you've got all sorts of education right here at your fingertips. So let's take a look at the luminous. So once we click on the luminous, it wants me to be in Canada, but we're going to stay on this website right now. The luminous filament, of course, there's the page to purchase it. But if you take a look at the description, you're going to find a whole wealth of resources too. So it says right there, requires a hardened nozzle when printing regularly. It also tells you some really cool information like the cycle weight for the gradient. That means if you're printing a model and you want to have the full gradient, you're going to make sure that your model has enough infill, or you've printed enough models on the bed that you get the full gradient. That's 160 grams. We've talked about that, of course, printing rainbows in the slicer a few times. And I always also refer back to Filament Stories Guide to Buying Rainbow Filament. This is a really nice cycle for a full rainbow. But as I mentioned, you're going to have lots of information on the actual product page if you use the Polymaker website. So it does say here, there's a hardened nozzle. This will print great on any stock 3D printer that has a hardened nozzle. And also you'll want to print slower on stock older style printers. So we are going to see right here, there's a tab that says print settings. So there's all the information that you could possibly need when you're looking to purchase a filament. And a lot of people don't realize that all of this is right there for you on the Polymaker website. So it definitely pays to purchase your filament directly from Polymaker. It gets shipped very quickly. And the other thing that you're earning these days are some points. So you get credits towards filament when you purchase from the Polymaker, direct from the Polymaker website. But as you can see, there's even an FAQ. Is there a difference between luminous, panchroma luminous PLA and polylight luminous PLA? It says, no, this is the same great material, just under a new product family name. So there's your answer. What's the difference between Panchroma Glow PLA and Panchroma Luminous PLA? It says right here, these materials both have the same glow effect. The difference is what color they are before being placed in darkness. So the Glow PLA will be a natural color when not in darkness, and Panchroma Luminous is the same color when in light and in the dark. So you have a whole resource right there at your fingertips when you're looking at the Polymaker website. So make sure you use those resources and take advantage of what Polymaker has to share with you. Every single filament has its own, of course, has its own properties, and there are different ways to, of course, print with different filaments. But Polymaker makes it easier for you. The other thing to note is on all the new spools, you're going to have a lot of information directly on the spool as well. So inform yourself, empower yourself, and use the resources that are available to you when it comes to your 3D printing adventure. If there's something that you're not sure of, at all times, Polymaker's Discord is active with lots of people that are more than willing to help you as well. And at any time, you know, any of us that are active over there, we're willing to help you, even if it's just what color do I print or what model should I print today. So thank you for taking a look at these amazing resources from Polymaker. There are many more things to discover on the Polymaker website, and there are many more things to come. So stay tuned and see what other information you're going to get that will help you enhance your 3D printing experience. But that is all from me. Please stay tuned to me on twitch.tv/pezliz. I stream in printing color on Wednesdays, but I also stream several times a week, and we're always talking about what's new and cool in 3D printing. But for now, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and also comment any questions that you might have in the description below. And this has been Imprinting Color.